let's take a look at the period of a mass on a spring. So here's one that I have set up already. So let's get this thing vibrating. All right, oop, there we go. So there's my spring. Let's reach over. Let's vibrate it. So let's see if this works. There we go. So notice that it's going up and down. We have a nice periodic structure. It's almost level. Here we go. Now I'm screwing you around. Now you're getting seasick. There we go. Take a look at it. Let's time it out. Not yet though, because we don't know what we're doing yet. So let's do some math. So turning it upside. There we go. So now we've done this already in our classrooms. So we did looking at the position, velocity, and acceleration of that simple harmonic motion. And we also know that the period and the angular momentum are related. So now let's go back and look at that spring. So the force on the spring equals ma. That's a force. So the force on the spring is kx. The F equals ma. Wait, here's an a. So kx equals m. Wait, did I screw up something already? Did I forget my negative sign? I did. The force on the spring needs to be negative kx. That a is negative a omega squared cosine omega t. Let's keep going. Kxm. So there's that negative sign. Negative kx equals negative ma omega squared cosine omega t. Now what do I do? Oh wait, x is, I can replace the x as well. Oh, it's late in the evening. Negative k, x is a cosine omega t. Oh, nice. A cosine omega t equals negative ma omega squared cosine omega t. So let's see here. The a's cancel out. The cosine omega t cancels out. So what do I end up with? Ooh, the negative signs cancel out. I end up with k equals m omega squared. But I want to know what the period is. The period, there we go. So here's my period. I'm going to plug that into my omega. So we end up with k equals m 2 pi over the period squared. So now let's keep going. We're just about done. K over m equals 2 pi over the period squared. Take the root of both sides. What do we end up with? So we end up with root k over m equals 2 pi over t. So now do some cross multiplying and some, so period root k over m equals 2 pi. And now the period is 2 pi times the root of the mass over the k. So now you can tell me what the period, if we know what the period is and we know what the mass is, we can figure out what the spring constant is. Let's go back to our mass that's rotating around. Let's see if I can do this without making you throw up. And there we go. So this mass is 500 grams. Please. So let's see if this works. The mass is 500 grams. You figure out what the period is, and tomorrow I expect you to tell me what the spring constant is.